You are listening to Photocast, a podcast by Lloyd Wiliams and Phil Warren. We'll be talking all things photography, the wedding industry, and life as working professionals. Follow us on Instagram @Photocast and join us on Facebook by searching Photocast. Enjoy the episode.
Good afternoon, Lloyd.
Good afternoon, Philip.
That was a bit of a delay
good
there.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, good evening, and good night. It depends when you're listening to us.
You know what? I actually watched a video yesterday. Alice showed me this Jim Carrey impressionist lookalike.
Yeah.
On I think Lad Bible posted it actually, and
Right.
it was this person doing Jim Carrey impersonations, and that was one of the first things they said. Good morning, and in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
When was Jim Carrey Australian?
It was accents was never my strong point. But it was like a 2-minute video, and then afterwards Alice said, "Isn't she good?" And I was like, "She?" That was definitely a him, and it was a girl.
Oh, really?
Who looked like Jim Carrey, yeah, but
That's amazing.
It fooled me. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out on Lad
Totally-
Bible. So. What
Totally
a random start.
But, yeah, no, I know. It's only because you just said that, and that literally reminded me of,
I know.
Savage.
I know we caught up yesterday, but how's your week been? How are you doing? Been okay?
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, another really fast week in another lockdown.
January was a tough year.
Yeah, it was. And February's the same.
Yeah.
No, I haven't really been doing much this week apart from a bit of DIY. So Alice's new holiday accommodation is almost finished. So I've been helping her for the last kind of week or so. Finishing touches, putting up prints, putting up mirrors, fixing things to walls and hanging TVs up and stuff. So we got another day or maybe two. And then it's time to do the photo shoot for it. And I'm going to make a little video. So
It looks really good from the images I've seen on Instagram. It's looking awesome.
Yeah. To be fair, she got a really good eye for interior design. So it's really come together quite nicely.
Cool.
Obviously it's been months and months, well, years in the making really, but it's nice to see it all almost ready to go. So
whereabouts is it?
I'm looking forward to. It's on John Street in Porthcawl, which is like the main shopping street. So
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of background for anyone that doesn't follow me and doesn't know what that is. But Alice has got a guest house essentially. So it's a self-check-in system. So there's just a key box on the wall. So you can check yourself in and out, which is, it's always been convenient anyway, because you haven't got to be there all the time. Because obviously people check in whenever they want. But it's even more so now because of COVID. Obviously it's, I think some guests think that it's been implemented because of COVID, the kind of check yourself in system, but it's always been there just as a, convenience.
Yeah, it's good.
This is the second guest house. So this is, it's a little bit different. So there's like 3 apartments as opposed to rooms. So they got like little kitchenettes and they've got like a second bedroom and stuff. So it's cool.
Oh, sounds good.
I'm looking forward to getting all the content in.
Yeah.
We got 2 days of more finishing touches, and then photo shoot Wednesday and video shoot Thursday.
Oh, awesome.
So
That's good.
I bought my gimbal 6 months ago, maybe not 6 months ago, but it feels like 6 months ago. I haven't used it yet, so I'm looking forward to using the gimbal.
Yeah.
I bought it because it was like £150 off.
Yeah.
It was a DJI Ronin SC, like the smaller one.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for my XT3. Just one zoom lens. So I was like, oh, it's £150 off. God, that's good. I'm going to buy that now. So I bought it on Amazon. And then like 2 weeks later, they bought out the newer version, didn't they? So And I should have thought about that at the time. Why is it £150 off? That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And because there was another one coming out, but never mind. It hasn't been used yet. So I'm looking forward to giving it a test run and seeing what I can make. But the plan is to do like a giveaway.
Okay.
When it opens, is to do like a share this video and, your usual Instagram thing.
Yeah. Like
tag
post,
to your mates
follow
and all that jazz. So, obviously the prize is going to be like a weekend stay. But the pressure's on now because we kind of planned the promo for it. We haven't got a video yet, so I better make something half tidy because it's going to hopefully be shared quite a lot. So we'll see.
Yeah, no pressure on that one. That sounds good. Is that like Airbnb thing, or is it like that as well as?
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's not run through Airbnb. It's run through Booking.com.
Okay,
but it's the same thing essentially. But Airbnb. Well, it's tricky to manage both at the same time. So you got like your diary integrated on Booking.com, but it doesn't link in with Airbnb. So obviously, like you could sell all your rooms on Booking.com, and unless you manually change it on Airbnb,
you could end up with double bookings.
Yeah, so it's just easier just to keep it on one channel. You can get software to integrate calendars, but they're really expensive and they're for like, large hotel chains and stuff. So it's not really needed. So, Booking.com is the boy for that.
Cool. Yeah.
So,
it is. I mean, it's one of the first ports of call that I go to when I'm looking for somewhere to stay, is Booking.com, the typical travel in, Premier Inn, Travel Lodge, those sort of ones, just to see what's available on the off chance that we actually do a wedding where we've got to stay somewhere.
It is good. Obviously, you get discounts like the more you book. They got like a genius discount thing, so you get 10 or 15% discount anyway, just from using Booking.com. So that's quite handy. But I always use it as a first port of call to see what hotels you like, and then you can look elsewhere to try and find the best price. But
cool.
Yeah, it's good.
So
how about your week? Have you been doing much?
I mean, bits and bobs. I think still trying to get the grips with editing this thing. I think that's it's fine now. I think I've got it down to a T a little bit. I don't want to get too lazy with it because I'd like to learn the software a bit more. So I'm going to dive into that a bit more. So I think I'd like to do something like you're going to be doing with a promo video. But other than that, I sort of I've picked up a few things that I wanted to do.
It was a bit harder last week to edit because we had a
malfunction,
didn't we?
Yeah, so we've been pretty good
if you
with
listen
that.
to the podcast. Obviously this is all done by the internet, and we've both got pretty decent broadband in our studio, so never really had an issue with it before. But if you listen to the podcast, you probably didn't realize because I edited it out finally.
Well, you say that, but
seamless.
Someone did pick up on it. Someone sent me a message saying, Phil, your awesome story, the best one that's been on so far on Photocast has been slightly tampered with. No, it was fine. It said like, did you have an issue there? It didn't say it had a problem with it. It's just a case of like there was something not 100% right. Because I'm such a great storyteller, so my story just needed the best it could be. I need all the help I can get when telling the story.
I know it seems pretty pointless to be discussing it on a podcast, but
here we
go. Do have an interruption.
Keep talking.
Well, no, if we do have an interruption again while we're recording this one, what we can do is when we rejoin it, you just admit it and say, look, okay, I was halfway through a story. I don't know where I got to, so I'm going to cut in. It's easier then, just boom, there we go.
Yeah,
straight,
that's right.
Fine.
I think the temptation is to try and like jump back in yourself where you thought you were. And I think like you're right there. You just say, look, it is what it is. Let's just start again. And I mean, look, we should know that because what it's like when you're taking photographs. Like if you're doing something, you're like, oh, look, can I just get another one? Can I just do this? I want to get something else. Or can you just move and do that? And sometimes it's just easier to do that than to like fudge it afterwards. You know, the time it takes to like at that, and people don't really care. You know, as long as you just say up front what's up and just move on. That's true. I done a bit of food, but shop for a farm shop. I'm good friends with them, so they wanted to restart the butchery that they've got in house. So they needed some shots to do a bit of promotion to relaunch that area in the shop. It was I mean, it's quite nice. I do like doing food kind of photography, to be honest, but it's
as long as you get to eat the food afterwards, isn't it?
I did get a couple of steaks out of it, so that was good. But then I went back and the day after, and they had like humongous tomahawk steaks. They were like just immense. I mean, you could probably cut them in half, probably in thirds, I would say, and get a decent steak out of it. It was, I don't even know how you'd cook it, to be fair. I mean, you take hours.
Fancy eating one to yourself.
That's a mission, to be honest. Yeah, so they had it's not a tomahawk, it's porterhouse and a T-bone. So I think the difference is the size of the fillet on one side or something. I don't really know, but they were big, and I wouldn't mind having one, to be honest. But yeah, it was good. It's good. I mean, I do like doing kind of food stuff. It's quite nice. It's quite methodical. You know, you kind of, because you're doing styling, and typically I like to try and shoot it on a tripod at that point, which is very like against what I do. You know, I normally it's quite like run and gun and stuff, but with this, I like to do it on a tripod.
But when you're styling things, like it's easier using a tripod, isn't it? Because then
you can put things in on specific points.
Yeah. Like you might hand hold your camera, take a shot, and think, that looks good. But hang on, I just need to move that
tomato
little,
or
whatever
something.
it is. Yeah. But then when you move it, then you can't remember exactly what angle you're at anyway. So
exactly. So that's one thing
being
perfect for that, isn't it? Because then you can like adjust things like into the right spot, especially with food, where you're just like chucking a load of stuff over the table and you are making a mess, really. But it was
creative, organized mess.
It is, yeah. It was quite funny because I was looking for. I got some material backdrops in a roll. They waterproof ones. You can get them on Amazon and stuff. So I've got a bunch of those. And then I wanted something. I didn't want a wooden block. Or I was like, okay, I'll have a wooden block if you've got something that's kind of beaten up. And I was just looking around and I found a bunch of really well used baking trays. And the thing is, with like cheap baking trays, sometimes they oxidize and have little rust spots and stuff. And they were freaking out because it was like, you can't show our food with like potentially unhygienic trays. And it's like, no, don't worry about it. That's not what it's about. It's about to give like texture and create like the set. No, it's not about like how I'm serving it. That's not the point of the photographs. It's like, don't worry about it. I'll take out all the obvious kind of like rust spots. But the rest, like, it just adds texture to it. And it's like, don't worry about it. No one's gonna cook your food like that with bits of salt and pepper all thrown around the place.
They probably won't even notice it. Whoever's looking at those pictures, and
they just see a juicy steak.
As photographers, as photographers, you often want to enhance certain things or take stuff away because to you it's a distraction. But you have to wonder, well, would anyone actually realize the difference? Like I did some edits on yesterday. Of the wedding that we shot yesterday, which we'll go into in a sec. But there was one really nice picture of them with the tree. There was just this nice tree up the mountain, and you could just see a tiny few lights in the background because we were up on the mountain. Obviously, you could see you had a pretty high view, and it was just a couple of tiny little out of focus little lights, and I didn't even notice them to start off with, but then. Obviously you have a closer look and it's like, I don't like that. That's got to go. But, if you put that picture on Instagram and people just saw it, they'd obviously just look at the couple. Be like, oh, look, it's the wedding picture. Oh, that's nice. But they probably wouldn't have spotted that tiny little bit, but it's gone and it looks
it's just
better
those little
for
details, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's it does make a big. I think it makes a difference. I mean, it's just the attention to detail.
But we stress over it.
Yeah,
well, don't stress over it, but it's on your mind, whereas you think.
Yeah,
but then that's just.
It's probably the longest you spent on that image, isn't it? When you're editing that image, you've probably got to the that it is inverted commas finished part relatively quickly. It's the little touch-ups and the little tweaks that take the longest amount of time.
Absolutely.
Cool. Should we get into yesterday then? Because this is a first, I think. This is a first in 36 episodes that we actually shot a wedding yesterday. And technically we shot it together as well, which we'll go into in a minute. But I think this would have been, or the idea was that we were going to talk about our weddings after, shooting them. So, we talk to the day or things that happened, because if stuff happens that are quite funny, we can obviously bring it into the podcast and talk about it. But obviously the 2020 being the year that it was, we haven't been able to do that. So this is the first one. It's the first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's, So it's an interesting one to start with as well. I guess we should preface this by saying, like, neither of us make a habit of doing like double bookings or getting things wrong or anything like that. I'm not saying that we did do anything wrong here, but I helped out Lloyd as an associate shooter.
It was. Yeah, so it was the first time that we've actually had to put the plan into place. Yeah. So just to kind of set the scene, I basically had two weddings that rescheduled onto the same day at different times. So obviously there's a problem. I've got two weddings going ahead. I'm booked to do both of them, and obviously I can't be in the two places at once. So I've always had a backup plan in place, and I've always kind of mentioned it at the consultation point, before anyone books me. And I've done this for as long as I can remember, like literally years and years. Yeah, I always make a point of going through, I work by myself. So I'm not like some photographers that operate as a partnership where there's two of them. Obviously, if one person gets ill or something happens, then it's kind of like, it's not the end of the world, because there's another person to fill in. But I always kind of make a point of warning everyone, look, it is just me. If anything does happen, I've got, a solid network of other photographers that I can call upon to help me out, in a time of crisis. So it was the first time since 2012 that I've had two bookings fall on the same day. Obviously these two were both rescheduled weddings, so they weren't originally supposed to be on the same day, hence why I took both bookings in the first place, because they were obviously on different dates. And it kind of made me realize, 99.9% of the time you book your wedding on a date, you're going to get married on that date. You book it 2 years in advance, or 18 months, even longer.
So different situation, isn't it? You can't. But this is so far away from the norm that, and also we've both done the same thing. And last year, we've actually said to our couples in multiple times, look, if you do move it into a date that I'm already booked, you got multiple options. Either I can send an associate photographer, which is what the case happened here, or we can refund monies paid over the deposit and so on. So it's not like this has come as a surprise to any couples. So, and they've always had a heads up of this. So this isn't like a run of the mill year, and I was like, I've double booked myself, because to do that via our systems is extremely difficult, isn't it? It's
I would say it's impossible. Because literally, if I have an inquiry come through, obviously they put their date in, and that date is not flexible. That's the date they booked, So it's literally matching up one day on a calendar. And if you're already booked, there's like a big red flag that says, you already got a booking on this day. Yeah. So you can't accept that new booking. So you reply accordingly. Or even if you've already had an inquiry on that date, it'll still give you an amber warning, just to kind of say heads up. And I always go then and check what that inquiry was. You know, did they book and something happened, or did I lose touch with them, or you know. I'd say it's pretty impossible to get double booked in a normal situation. But obviously with COVID, I think between the two couples yesterday, I think they had 5 rescheduled dates between them. So you can see where you know, that complications arise. But so basically I asked this guy that I know a little bit called Phil Warren. I don't know. So but I mean, obviously we had this discussion almost a year ago where we would help each other out if we had any clashes with dates or anything rescheduled that we couldn't do and stuff. So it was kind of weird that it took that long to actually put it into place. You know, I assume maybe it might have happened sooner, but
I hope, you know, I've done a good job for you as well, you know, with because of the situation, then me not being their first choice. I am hopeful that
obviously we had a Zoom with the couple that Phil was helping me out with. We had like a meeting a few nights ago just to kind of talk through the plans and stuff. And obviously you made your own notes, Phil, and you know, worked out the timings and stuff. But I didn't even think, you know, I didn't even think about it. Obviously I was in Neath, I was doing my own wedding. But I knew that, you know, I had every confidence.
I appreciate that.
I didn't have to, you know, last time I hired a photographer to do some work for me, it was 2012. I didn't have a sophisticated booking system. I was using, you know, paper diary, and you know, I was a human and I messed up the dates. So I did get somebody to help me out, and it was literally on my mind the whole day that I was shooting. It was, and it turns out that it ended badly. And he didn't take that many good pictures. I won't mention any names.
Oh God.
But honestly, yesterday, no. I'll tell you off air that one. But
you make me worry, you know.
Nah. But the point is, I didn't once yesterday think, oh my God, you know, I wonder what Phil's doing. You know, I just knew you were there, you were doing your thing. And even when I turned up, you know, outside the church, the timings of these 2 weddings worked out. So after my first one finished, I could get to the second one where Phil was, and I could kind of not take over, but because that felt wrong. Because it was your wedding in a way, you know. I didn't want to take over, but
before you carry on, there, you turned up when I was doing group shots. I would have be more than happy for you to have taken over at that point. I was like, I turned around, you were there. I was like, oh, Lloyd, do you want to take over?
I could see, like, it was just nice to see you doing your thing. Because, well, for a start, I've never obviously been to a wedding that you've been photographing. So I've never seen you in action as such. But obviously I parked across the road, walked across, and it seemed like the whole village was out to watch the celebration. So there's a lot going on. But obviously I spotted you in the distance. And I didn't want to interrupt your flow, to be honest. So
I appreciate that.
But I didn't even feel the need to come up and ask you, how's it going? You know, blah blah blah. I just knew that you had it, and you know, I didn't need to interfere. So
I think
it was good.
Yeah, I mean, like it went well. You know, there's no issues, nothing happened. There was any problems and stuff like that. I shot it with a friend of the podcast, Mr. Simon Huntley. So it was good to catch up with Simon again as well. It was I bet. Yeah, I know we'll probably mention kind of the wedding you shot, but this wedding obviously had been small scale, bunch of restrictions. Is it a little bit different because we were shooting it, and you know, when you do a church wedding, you typically go through a normal flow of things. You know, walk down the aisle and so on, and then you get into the vows, stand up, sit down, you know, giving away rings and so on. and it didn't feel quite right. And I was just like, me and Simon kind of look at each other, go like making faces like, well, what's going on here? You know, is there something a bit odd with this? And then all of a sudden it was like we'd finished, and there was no, no first kiss. It just sort of like people just started walking out, and we were just sort of looking at each other like, Christ, we got to quickly like get out before them. Obviously you want to try and catch them walking back down the aisle and stuff. So, but also it wasn't a typical church in terms of, a big kind of ornate cathedral type church, center aisle. It wasn't like that. They had two aisles either side. So they walked down one side. Couldn't walk side by side, so in front of each other, and which is always difficult, especially when the dad's leading it in, and so it was just like, oh God, we're gonna squeeze past, and half like every other row was taped off and stuff, so you couldn't get the same spot. So we were kind of trying to say to Simon, was like, where do you want to go? Do you want to go below, and I kind of shoot over you, or this, that, and the other. So. And I just got outside thinking, what was that? That was just weird. So I didn't know if it was anything to do with like restrictions and stuff. And then you turned up, and I spoke to you about it, and realized like this is something must have been different. So it turns out that they're actually getting married officially in the registry office in 2 weeks' time. They should have done it previously, but it'd been closed. So it meant that the ceremony, they couldn't say certain words, couldn't say man and wife and do a first kiss and things like that. There were certain parts of that ceremony that were taken out. So that kind of made me feel a little bit better. That I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't, but I don't know.
Of course, yeah. It is strange when you're so used to a routine that, it doesn't really...
It doesn't follow that pattern.
Like,
it does.
Yeah. At my wedding yesterday, there was no first kiss.
Oh, right.
So even though obviously they live together, so I wasn't sure if that was a COVID thing. I think in Catholic churches, they don't do a first kiss, do they?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I don't know if you've been to many Catholic wedding ceremonies, but there's not really a first kiss. But there is in... normal churches, but
Church of England.
There wasn't yesterday. Yeah, Church of England.
I get caught out by that pattern thing. I when I do weddings in Swansea, they always do sign in the register.
Do it backwards.
And I quite often I quite like going off to the side, and you're probably the same. And you just snap away at like all the guests and stuff. It's kind of a nice time because it's a bit of a breather, and I'm stood there taking photographs of all the guests, and then the registrar's like, are you gonna do this now? Like, right, okay, sorry. Feel like an idiot at that point, but I thought it was a bit strange, didn't I? But
I know that feeling. But it was odd then, because when they were actually signed in the register, and I said, I'll go and have a quick kiss because it's a nice picture, and I realized then that was the first time that they should have done that like 5 minutes before, where he said you may kiss your wife. So I almost felt like a vicar at that point. I was like, you may kiss your bride. And it was just the three of us,
So
it's just, it was nice to be like back in the saddle, so to speak. But it was just odd to see the church so empty for a start, because usually, obviously there's a lot of people go to church weddings. They're usually quite big buildings, and they've got the seating to accommodate them. But it was just odd to see like, the tape on every other pew. There was all the signage everywhere about washing your hands and the hand sanitizer stations and everything. And usually, right, if there's something on a wall that's distracting, I'll just rip, and it's kind of temporary, I'll just rip it off.
I haven't gone that far. I keep a pen knife. I keep a pen knife in my camera bag, and that screwdriver has been used quite a few times to unscrew signs or picture frames.
Obviously I'll put it back on once I finish, but if it's in the way, then I've got a screwdriver with me to unscrew it. if it's obviously not an easy fix in Photoshop.
Yeah.
But I was doing pictures yesterday where we couldn't go back inside the church. So in my wedding, it rained the whole time. It was really, really grim, miserable. It was black. It was raining. It was horrible.
Funny, isn't it?
So after the church had finished, I kind of said to the vicar, it's hammering it down. Can we come back inside? Because I know they want to do some group shots. And he's like, no, you can't come back inside because of COVID. I was like, well, hang on, everyone's just been inside because of COVID. So why can't they come? And I think he just wanted to go home and maybe watch the start of the Six
everyone
Nations.
Get out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, but given the circumstances, and I thought he would have allowed us back in, even for 10 minutes, just to not make everyone get soaking wet. But yeah, so there's the kind of gates of the church, like the archway outside, the gates close in. So close these gates, and there's a big coronavirus poster, and I was like, that's coming off now. That's because it was over like bars and stuff. It would have been a real nightmare to airbrush it out. So I just thought, right, let's have a little look to see how it's attached first. And it was bloody staple gunned in. So I could have easily ripped it off, but I thought the vicar's definitely going to notice when he comes back Monday morning or Sunday morning, where's my coronavirus sign gone? That bloody Lloyd has ripped it off the door. I thought, right, I better not. So I just opened up the gates so you couldn't really see it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and
did you do many in the rain?
Funnily enough, well, we had to. I was in the rain the whole time because there was like a little archway that I could keep everyone dry under. But obviously that archway wasn't big enough for me. So I was in the rain amongst everyone else. They were just under umbrellas, and because everyone was taking shelter under the arch. And I said, okay, this is the best place to do the group shots, but obviously everyone else is going to have to move. And you could tell everyone was a bit annoyed because
the audible
they were
groan.
keeping dry. And I was like, well, I can't have people hanging around in the background of these group shots. So everyone out on the road in the rain. It was really hard to keep everything dry. Like obviously my cameras are water resistant, but I always keep a little cloth, like a lens cleaning cloth, in my pocket. And I was using that to get the water off my lens. Even with lens hoods, that wasn't helping. There was still water getting on. But then this cloth became wet, so I was just trying to dry a wet lens with a wet cloth. And I'd bring the camera up, I'd look through the viewfinder, and everyone's blurry. So I was like, either my contact lens has slipped or there's water smeared all over the lens. And so it was a bit tricky, but you know what? You just got to do what you got to do in those situations. And obviously,
is what it is, isn't it?
We talked about the weather clearing up, and you have to be optimistic. Obviously, it was raining during the prep and everything, and I was like, "Oh, it's fine. The ceremony's not for another 2.5 hours. We got plenty of time for it to stop." And unfortunately, it didn't. So,
which is mad because you're only like 30 minutes away, and like it didn't rain at all where I was. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, because when I was on my way to you, literally on the M4, my wipers wouldn't go fast enough to be able to see out the window. I was thinking, there's no way we're going up a mountain this afternoon. But I got to you, and it was blue sky. I was like, wow, it was good.
So my ceremony was at 3 p.m. and then you turned up about sort of 10 to 4, quarter to 4, something along those lines. We had a few group shots and this, that, and the other. You jumped in on my nice blank wall as well, which I was not happy with. I purposely looked at it. I was like, that's getting it. I'd already spotted it, see, because when I come out, I first thing I done is I got to find a blank textured wall or something. Group shots had been here because that's the only place that was really like that open, I would say. I mean, I could have shoved them against a wall, but I think I kind of like the lines coming into them and stuff. And then, I was like, right, okay, so as soon as they finished, I'm going to just turn 90 degrees and that wall is getting it. And then you come along and gazump it. I did. I started laughing. I got to be honest. I got a couple of kind of a different angle from you, so that was cool. But yeah, the state of me coming down from that mountain. When I got back in the house last night, I took my clothes off. I looked at my clothes because it was the first time I'd seen it or really looked. Yeah, because I didn't go back to the studio. That's right. So I went straight back to the house and looked at myself. I went, oh my God, what a mess. I was covered in mud. Absolutely covered. Because
same here.
Stupid me decided not to bring some wellies. So I was walking up a mountain and it was a pretty muddy dirt track, really, going up to that common. And
I enjoyed getting the wellies out.
Yeah, it was good fun, wasn't it? It was good fun. I
think the last time I had to put wellies on at a wedding was when I went wading through a river.
Yeah.
Where was that? Oh, Fairy Hill.
Oh, is it? What, the bridge?
Yeah, I've done it twice at Fairy Hill. The first time, I didn't have any wellies or any alternative footwear, but I had to get like the middle of the bridge in my composition. And the only way to do it was to take my shoes off, roll up my trousers and just get in.
I like it.
Which I did. It was freezing.
Committed there, Lloyd.
Yeah. But then I just thought to myself, right, next time I go back, I'm just going to take wellies because it's easier. Because I had to send somebody to go and get me a towel to dry my feet.
There's certain things like I think about keeping in the car. Have you got any like stuff you keep in the car for weddings that you think like you might need or do you kind of do it on a case by case basis?
It's not necessarily for weddings, it's for me at weddings. So I always keep some Nurofen.
Yeah.
I always keep my glasses. I got my glasses here. Look, I wear lenses, so that's fine. But obviously if a lens fell out and I couldn't find it, then I wouldn't be blind, but you just can, when you're looking through your viewfinder, everything a little bit sharper. So I always keep a spare pair of glasses and like a protein bar or like an energy bar or something.
Yeah, something to nibble on.
But I've always got, spare camera and spare flash and all that
usual
stuff
gear.
Anyway. But
sun cream. That's one I put in the back of the car. I've been being follically challenged, unlike you, Lloyd. We like the opposites here, don't we? As you can see,
my lockdown beard's coming on nicely.
Yeah, I do get kind of pink head quite a bit at weddings, so I'll go and put some sun cream on a little bit. Well, I tend to do it like maybe towards in May type of thing, where the bold dome hasn't seen much sun at that point, and then the rest of the summer I'm kind of all right then, which is like the opposite of what you should do. You should constantly put sun cream on, shouldn't you? I think true. I do think I should get a bit more organized. I think at weddings, especially if we end up shooting a load, which at some point I think we will do, whether it's this year or not. I do need like almost like a first aid kit, like drugs in there of some sort, plasters. I don't know whether you need it. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just something just in case, like you might need during the day, and it doesn't take up much room. But I don't know. Wellies, I can't see it being part of that though.
And a mini bottle of deodorant is always in my camera bag as well.
Yeah, good shout.
Because you can get hot and sweaty when you're working, especially in the summer, and you don't want to put any guests
stink
off.
it up. Yeah, and sometimes you get a nice weddings. They'll put deodorant in the toilet, but you can't always guarantee on that, can you? Yeah, we got some good stuff up the mountain, I think. Getting up there was
definitely. Because of where the church was, there wasn't really much space around to kind of do any cool portraits, and the couple lived in the village anyways, so they said, we know a good spot where we take our dogs walking every weekend, so they just said to bring wellies. Phil didn't get a memo.
I didn't even know.
Well, he did, but they told us on the Zoom call, but never mind.
Yeah, but they said, it's just, we'll take the car up so far, and then it's a short walk. It wasn't. It wasn't, was it? Let's be honest. But
no.
Yeah, it was fine. Look, it was. I like doing stuff like that. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's just something a bit different, isn't it?
nice to do something different. And it was very cold and windy up on top of the mountain, wasn't it? But
yeah,
I'm so glad that we went up there, and fair play to the bride. She didn't really care about her dress. It was looking pretty muddy at one point. But you know, it's nice to have couples that are like that, who embrace, you know, they obviously knew that the three of us, you, I, and Simon, would be an element, being on top of a mountain with lush scenery and stuff. So you know, it's nice that they put their kind of their faith in us, and just went with the flow. And we ended up walking back in the dark, which probably wasn't the easiest thing to do. And
try my best not to slip.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
In a pair of shoes.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we got pretty lucky with the weather, didn't we?
Yeah, it was quite cool for me to have a second photographer there, because usually, and especially, of course, you know, I work with Simon quite a lot. Usually it's just the two of us. So having you there as well, it was just nice, because I was doing some off-camera flash while you were doing like a different angle, and you know.
Yeah, and but even little things, I think, like I took a lot from that, because it made me think about maybe sometimes certain weddings, certain places, having someone else coming in and helping me, because when you're in those sort of positions and locations and weather, just having someone to hold a light stand is just, you know, it's just worth the money and worth the time of getting someone else there. So, yeah, it was quite interesting for me. I mean, being on the other side of it, really trying to see, like, could I make use of this in the future as well? And I think like for me, and I'd probably the same for you, because like we tend to just shoot on our own. You know, very rarely have second photographers doing anything. But it's a luxury, isn't it? It's quite nice. It's quite nice having someone second shooting, but I don't really know. I guess you'll have to tell me that. I think so you obviously you'll get my images, and then it might be worth you looking at and go, do you know, I actually it could be quite useful in the future to have that in the back pocket type of thing. If it's not, then there's no point. You know what I mean? Are you going to get vastly different images, or a different style, or something that might not fit? Or it'd be interesting to see what you think of it. Like, don't know back, like, saying anything to me. I don't really care. Like, I'd rather have feedback than not. You know that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you think. But it's certainly something I'll keep in mind.
All our listeners that are listening right now, you know, I haven't actually seen his pictures yet. So, you know,
I know it could be, you know, this could be the last episode, ladies and gentlemen. This could be it. This could be the final swan song.
This could be the end of Photocast,
in about 2 hours time. Now he's like, yes, no, I gotta speak to this idiot every week, and his photographs are awful. I mean, like,
that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We're joking.
I'm fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just that
pulling your leg.
No, it is interesting, because you never get anyone seeing every single image you take in the day. You know, when's the last time someone's seen an entire catalogue of your images from one wedding? Ever? Has anyone ever gone through your entire thing?
No.
So, I mean, look, for me, like, there's certain things there's a couple of shots I would have gone, look, in the moment, I wish I'd done it slightly different, but that's always the case. You know, you can't be...
you're going to have that anyway.
Like,
it doesn't matter if it's your wedding or if it's somebody else's.
There's one shot.
And I say that as in your booking, not your actual wedding. You know.
But yeah, there's probably like one shot that I think, like, I wish I'd stopped down a little bit more, but it was kind of dark in that passageway. They're doing like TikTok video and they were going crazy. So it was kind of like you're right on the edge of it being, you know, not obviously shooting wide open, but you're kind of like, in a perfect situation, it'd be like maybe flash would be added or something, but you know, there's a couple in there.
But that's
it's minor. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I wish we could have done that walking across the road a bit different yesterday. So they had two ushers that brought out like lollipops to stop the traffic and stuff. And his partner, me, I wish we could have done that slightly different. I think on the day, but
I mean, obviously, if you'd had more time, you could have like asked people to move out the way, or you could have.
Yeah.
But you don't have the luxury of time.
No.
You choose to get married at 3 o'clock in February when you know it's getting dark by 5.
And you don't want to take the mick with the traffic and stuff.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you've ever done that picture at the Bear Hotel in Cowbridge.
Yeah,
where they want to cross the zebra crossing.
My first wedding.
Really?
First wedding in 2011. Yeah. I don't even know if we did
there's
it.
a zebra crossing literally right opposite the venue. And I don't know why. It's kind of one of those shots you have to do at that venue. Probably because when the couples book it, they see those images from the wedding coordinator, and that's just kind of like, oh yeah, we got to do that. But there's always a car in the background for me every time I've done it. quick, let's do it now. And then there's always something. I think lorry turns up, or a van, or you're like,
pack it in and get all the cars in and have it jam packed, and you know what I mean. So it's super busy, or almost there's difficult to do that in between. Yeah. And I think yesterday it could have been that jam packed because obviously there was quite a few people and stuff. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where I just thought, like, coming after, it's like, is there anything else we could have could have made that shot even better? But again, that's why we try and improve, don't we? We always look at it.
I was just going to say, that's it's a good thing that you debrief yourself on things like that, because that's how you, next time that arises, then you might think differently. If you just do your job and take pictures as you see them, and you don't really give it much thought,
never improve, will you?
You're not really taking anything away from it, you. So
keep me posted. Let me know. They're all ready for you to have a nose through, and I'd be keen to see what you do with them
this afternoon. Yeah. I'm excited to be watching some rugby this afternoon.
Yeah, what time does it kick off? Is it?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember actually.
I think the coverage starts 2:45, so I'm guessing kickoff will be 3:15, 3:30. But yes, Six Nations weekend.
Yeah.
Strange that there's a rugby match going on in Cardiff, and there's nobody in Cardiff. Bit mad, isn't it? Obviously,
it is a bit strange, isn't it? Do you think we get back to
International Day?
Or those like packed international days gone in the past?
It was funny. Last night. Me and Alice were looking through our old holiday photos and videos, and I got a few videos of we were in like an underground music club in New York.
All right.
And it was awesome. Like there was this band playing on a stage, and there was table service, drinks were flowing. It was just a really good night. We were in like the basement of this club downtown, and she was like, "Oh my God, look how many people are up in the singer's face, with you passing the microphone to everyone." And it was just like, that was only 2 years ago, and I was like, I can't imagine that happen. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, when is that going to be allowed to happen? Like, 200 people in a basement with a band on, everyone just getting drunk.
It feels wild to me that we actually done a wedding fair in Bringarrow in September.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? I was thinking about that the other day. It's like, how did we manage to do that? And I was only a few months back. So it's going the right way.
But no,
it's going the right way. That's the main thing. At last.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
But I think that was the first time that we've been in each other's presence since the last time I came up to you to record the podcast.
Yeah. Lloyd took a double take. I was like, Christ, Phil, you put on some weight. It's amazing what a haircut and a shave does and a dark top does for looking decent on a camera, though.
The thing is, I don't trust myself to cut my hair, so
right, yeah.
That's why I'm looking like a bit of a tramp.
To be fair, I've only got 5 hairs. So it's fine.
Yeah, not hard to cut them.
Like Homer Simpson.
I got about 5 million, I think. Yeah,
I don't know. It kind of grows on the side like Sideshow Bob.
I've been growing out the lockdown beard.
It's good. I
usually shave, quite regularly, especially because I go to so many weddings. I like to, look presentable or whatever.
Yeah.
But yesterday, because I had a mask on, you couldn't see that I had scruffy facial hair. Yeah. So I was like, well, you know what? I was going to be like, it's time to end the 3 weeks of growth, but the mask did the job for me. So
I quite like it because it hides my double chin at the moment, so it's fine. It's good. It just keeps it all in. But how are you finding the weddings? I mean, again, with the postponements and stuff. Talking of which, I did inquiry yesterday, which I thought was an interesting one. Someone inquired with me back last year, and for a wedding this year that I was already booked for, and then they found my availability calendar, which is like on my Instagram in a link tree, in a link that, you know what I mean? They've gone like deep dive. Sent me a message. Look, I can see you're free now. We've now postponed our date into 2022. So are you available to do our new postponed date? So I thought that was quite nice. But
yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I just keep seeing so many people banging on about these recommended micro weddings and stuff, and I just I don't know. Speaking of inquiries, I know on last week's podcast we were talking about the lack of phone calls that we have, and like everyone inquires on email or Instagram Messenger or something. And so we recorded last Sunday afternoon, and we ended the podcast, and about, I'd say 20 minutes later, my phone starts ringing off a number I haven't got saved. And I was like, what if this is an inquiry? I was like, I can't be. We've just been talking about this literally 20 minutes ago. It was a bride inquiring about a wedding. And I even told them, put the phone down. Just put the phone down.
I said that is so weird. I said, literally, just be talking about this on our podcast.
I'd ask straight away, are you a weirdo? Because I only get weirdos at the phone.
Weird timing. I haven't had a bride call me up to book for a long time. It was just odd that we were talking about it, and
and then 2 days later, I get a phone call asking about passport photographs. I know.
Classic.
Yeah, I don't do them. Sorry. I was like, look, you can go down to the post office, and she was like, I don't really want to go out anywhere. I don't know who's been sitting on those chairs and stuff. I'm like, right, okay, I get it. But unfortunately, I'm closed at the moment. I can't open.
Yeah.
It's funny, but I've not heard back off that inquiry that phoned me up a couple of weeks back. So there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I had a Zoom with them the following day, and they booked straight away, which was nice.
Cool.
But,
I guess
it was just odd how
conversation goes, isn't it? Like they I think you said they come via a recommendation, didn't they? So it was kind of like it's fine. But
it's all good.
The Google phone calls tend to be pretty rubbish inquiries.
Yeah.
There you go. Right, should we wrap it up there? I think I was anything else you want to go through?
No, I'll save it for next time, but I'm looking forward to giving my website a major overhaul.
Yes, that's right. We did.
You
did mention that.
Changing everything. I've been using Format.
Yeah.
Has that ever popped up on your radar?
Possibly, but I am really.
I started using it. I know it's a bit of a vague term, Format, but it is a brand. It's a company. They do website templates for photographers and creatives and whatever, and it's always been kind of full screen portfolio, show off your work kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure I've been using them for
I think you said on here, you've been pretty happy with
6-7 years. It's been fine. And my biggest concern at the time was SEO, but the SEO seems to work fine because the traffic is good. So I don't know. It's stale. I just need to, certain things I want to put on my website that this doesn't allow me to do. So
right,
I've been researching WordPress, and I'm going to make the jump and start playing about with that next week.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, both my sites are on WordPress. I switched from Squarespace to WordPress.
Yeah.
So no doubt.
So I'm gonna have to pick your brains quite a bit on that. So
I mean, look, I picked it up pretty quick. So it's fine. I mean, once you have a basic understanding of the websites and what each feature does, it's fine. It's not a problem. I think it's when you add in the extra complexity of themes, sometimes they'll bring their own way of doing things. Sometimes
don't say that because I'm looking at themes. So
no. It's sometimes they'll have a builder, like Divi has got a builder which is you can make it differently to what you would do in a regular WordPress. Like mine's flow themes, so that's done in like blocks, so you can have different blocks and you put them underneath each other, and that's how they appear on the page. Pretty no problems. I've put a lot of effort into my site.
I've got to ask you.
Yeah.
I've got to ask before we end this episode. Yeah, Clubhouse. So we were kind of hanging in there, hoping for an invite to this kind of exclusive Clubhouse app. I got added in last week, and as soon as I was in, I added you, Phil.
Yeah.
Have you spent any time on it? Have you?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
I have, and it's quite cool actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of like loads of radio stations.
Yeah.
That are hosted by whoever wants to host it, and like you literally just you just go through the different rooms. They're called rooms where they're talking about anything. So like
basically, like us dickheads like us talking nonsense.
Yeah, but there's been some like I've seen some kind of well-respected names in the photography kind of circles. They've been on there doing talks.
Yeah, I want to ask. I'll just get on there and have a look.
Have a little look. Have a little look. And if anyone else that's listening is on Clubhouse, let us know that you're on there, and we'll maybe try and speak to you on there.
Yeah, is there any way of putting this into it? I don't quite understand how it works.
No.
Is it?
No, you'd have to go onto the app and you'd have to start a new room, and then you can schedule things in. So like if we wanted to talk about Canon versus Fuji, for example, we could put that in, and we could schedule it in for next Tuesday at 5 p.m. So people will then see what's coming up. So you might think, I want to listen to Lloyd and Phil talk about Canon and Fuji cameras. So you'd set yourself like a reminder, and it would then, but like what you just said about just having your phone like there while we're recording this, that could work, but then it's more interactive. So
right, so it would detract away from the podcast a little bit. Maybe we could do that as a separate thing.
Yeah, it's worth looking at.
Yeah. I'll do a little bit of digging.
Put it on the to-do list.
Yeah. My to-do list just seems to keep growing, but there you go. Okay. Let's
cool.
wrap it up.
Right.
Then.
Thanks for listening to episode number 36.
36.
As ever, you can check us out on Instagram. I'm at L Williams Photo. You are at Phil Warren Photo.
Correct.
And at Loft Studio UK.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah. I listen.
Also, give us a like on our new Facebook page as well. If you just search for Photocast now, it'll just come straight up. There is nothing on there yet, but there will be this evening, just to kind of introduce ourselves and what we do and how we do it and stuff, which you already know because you've listened to this so far. But we'll be posting the links to our YouTube channel on there as well. And then we'll also be posting
some pictures from the wedding that we've told you about for the last hour.
Yeah.
We'll be posting some pictures from the wedding day as well, so you can go and check that out, so you can see what we did when we went up the mountain and everything else. So
I'll try and grab a
bit of context,
a photo of my shoes and trousers as well if they've not been washed, but they were pretty wrecked. Brand new trousers as well, because I put on so much weight. I had to buy some new trousers this week.
I know it. And they're stinking already.
Yeah, they're mad. That's what washing machines are for. So I think that's it, and let's wrap it up.
Yeah, cheers everyone for listening.
Thanks
as always, and we will catch you next time.
Take it easy.
Au revoir.